think it's a pretty common understanding that these post-show media scrums that we see from WWE and AEW are absolutely worthless. They bring in some of the biggest shills in the wrestling media to ask softball questions. Nothing of value comes out of these post-show media scrums. Nothing of interest. No real information comes out of these post-show media scrums. It is all worthless. But what if I was to tell you that WWE is making them even more worthless? What if I was to tell you that WWE doesn't want any real questions? They don't want any real journalists in these post-show media scrums. We got this bombshell story today from one ex-WWE employee right here on Off the Script. Also, a major free agent to debut with WWE imminently will now have to put that on hold as she is now injured. How serious and when is she going to arrive in WWE? I got that story. And Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, was once teased as being a title versus title match at King of the Ring this Saturday. But now it's only for Cody Rhodes' WWE title. Why did WWE tease this, and what was the reason behind it? We got all this right here on Off the Script. Let's start with the media. I love the media, man. No, I don't. I think the media is fucking lame. A lot of people push their own narratives. A lot of people are disingenuous. A lot of people spread fake positivity because they feel like that's going to attract more people. And I'll tell you what, man, I always hated that because not only do I think it's cringy, I see right through that shit, and you're one disingenuous motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now. And there's a lot of those people right now in the community. It's funny to think that people think I'm disingenuous, that I flip teams or flip sides. No, I don't. Whether you like it or not, if it's bad on one end, I'm going to tell you. If it's good on the other, I'm going to tell you. If they're both in the shithole, I'm going to tell you. I don't play favorites. I never did, never will. You know what I want? Great pro wrestling. And I'll tell you when we get that on any given week right here on this channel. But WWE, they now want to manipulate the post-show media press conferences. They don't want any hard questions asked at these post-show press conferences, says one ex-WWE host. Matt Camp, who was the former host of The Bump, started a new daily wrestling series called The Wrestling Mat. Yeah, The Wrestling Mat, because his name is Matt Camp. His show is now The Wrestling Mat with 2 T's. Oh, man, what a creative guy that guy is, man. Oh, shit. Kicked off his debut episode by talking about these press conferences. Matt Camp actually was a media member of WWE's first presser after Survivor Series 2022 in Boston. Camp made clear that he was a WWE employee at the time, but did ask to be a part of the media scrum. He asked questions to several names, including Paul Heyman, but did say there's a matter of intent with WWE utilizing the press conferences. He says this, and I quote, "They want fans in there. They want people who want to be a part of the show. They don't want that part to be messed up. The press conference is part of the show. They want this to be the exclamation point to the end of the show. We wrap things up, we let people speak for a little bit and show their excitement, and for the most part, they want softball questions," end quotes. Now, Camp noted that WWE does get some fans presented as media in the press conferences because if it was all fucking nobodies, then it would be a little blatantly obvious. There are some fans presented as media at these press conferences, noting that one member asked him for a photo after the event was over. He also said that there are a contingency of media people there who primarily try to get themselves over. Gee, I wonder who they are. I've heard people at press conferences for WWE, I've heard people at press conferences for AEW use their stage name or use their nickname. You're killing your credibility by doing that kind of stuff. Then you are playing into everything that they want. Now, Matt Camp was released from WWE in February of this year. He'd been with the company since 2019. WWE sources were surprised by his departure. So let me get this straight. Triple H now wants no real journalists at the post-show media press conferences. So my question is, why have them? Who gives a shit? Do you think the talent want to sit there and interact with these half-witted fucking geeks after they wrestle the whole show and they want to hit the showers and they want to go back to the hotel room and have dinner and have a drink and mingle and just hang out with their fucking roster mates? I don't understand why we even are at a point to have them if you're not going to allow journalists with credible questions, real life questions, questions that take away, that should be away from the actual product that we see. I don't want to hear people go to these things and like half of the fucking idiots in the community, oh, who do you want to feud with next? Do you think you could see Taylor Swift in the Royal Rumble? Who's your favorite musical artist right now that you're listening to while you're working out at the gym? These are the people that they get at these fucking press conferences, these half-witted fucking idiots. I mean, I died laughing when I heard some idiot at the last AEW press conference ask Tony Storm, do you still want your match with Wendy Richter? What? I don't understand how this is allowed. What type of audience do these people have? How do they get through with the credentials that they have, if they have any? It's ridiculous. It's an embarrassment to the entire fucking scene that they allow these people with zero credibility, with zero audience to get into these fucking places. And then you want to hire people, fake people, to go there, bring these people in there to ask softball questions. I said it once and I'll say it again, and I was fucking... Somebody replied to me, oh, that's not true. These fucking questions are predetermined. They absolutely are. Nobody's going in there asking these types of fucking questions. You gotta be a fucking moron. The whole thing is a joke. Why do you even have them? Nothing of substance comes out of the WWE press conferences. They're fucking lame. I mean, they're basically built for 5-year-olds. Then you got the AEW scrums. Tony Khan wants to dance around every fucking real question. He gives you no fucking real substance. All the ratings are up, and, you know, TBS, they're really happy with what we do. It's a great partnership. Great this. Everything is great in the land of Tony Khan. No, it ain't. It ain't great. It ain't great. The whole thing is a fucking sham. It's a joke. They don't want real media there. And the real media that are there, they do get to ask the questions, and then they never get their questions answered. So what the fuck is the point? Like this fucking guy who asked about Drew Gulak and Ronda Rousey. He got blasted on social media for it, and they made it to a big deal because Fightful got their name thrown under the bus. Oh, my God, poor babies. Unbelievable, man. Now, I don't know if, listen, this guy's not with the company. He could be a disgruntled employee. He could be spewing bullshit for all we know. I don't know. But if they're going to hire fans to sit in at these junkets and ask softball questions, you cannot convince me that this is not premeditated. You can't sit there and tell me that these are real people. I mean, everything you see is a fucking farce. It's disgusting. There are no real people in the community anymore. Everybody has an agenda. Everybody wants to push a narrative. They want to spread this fake positivity, and they want to get over by spreading the love of pro wrestling. And nobody wants to be critical about anything. Nobody wants to ask the hard questions. Nobody wants to be confronted with anything. It sucks. People claim that it's negativity. People sit there and claim that, you know, we're a cancer, that this is what's wrong with the community. No, honesty and truth and being yourself does not exist. It's not appreciated in this space anymore. This is who they want. Manufactured positivity. Everything is so great. Sunshine and rainbows. Hold my hand while I go skipping in the field of beautiful flowers, man. That's not real life. It's not real life. If you don't want the questions asked, then don't do the fucking media scrums. That's all I have to say there. Disgusting. We see right through that shit. Cody Rhodes. He's going one-on-one with Logan Paul at King of the Ring on Saturday afternoon. And WWE teased Cody Rhodes becoming a Grand Slam champion. He spoke about his desire on May 17th, SmackDown, to capture the coveted Grand Slam title, and is only missing the United States title from his collection. Despite these teases, it was confirmed during the contract signing later in the night that WWE would only be doing the match for the undisputed WWE Championship. WWE never had any intention of having both titles on the line, despite what was being teased on TV and social media. Dave Meltzer is reporting that the reason behind the teases is that WWE wanted a way to get extra heat on Logan Paul. The idea is that after fans were led to believe that both titles would be on the line, Paul backtracking by ensuring he wouldn't be at risk of losing his gold would rile up the fans against him. Now, on SmackDown, it was made clear that Paul's lawyers had drafted the contract that means only Rhodes' title will be on the line. Paul and Rhodes will face off at this weekend's King of the Ring pay-per-view, the show that will see the finals of the men's and ladies' King and Queen of the Ring crowned. The match will also be Logan Paul's second World Championship opportunity after facing then-champion Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel in Saudi in 2022. So if we are to believe Dave Meltzer, then this was all one big elaborate plan to get Logan Paul more heat. I could believe it, to be quite honest with you. I was questioning coming out of Friday, was WWE in the camp of this is all one big plan? Was this strategically done for this match to make it title versus title only to then take it away? Cody's going on Twitter saying he's going to be Cody 2 belts. He's mentioning Grand Slam titles. Was this done with WWE in mind to get more heat on Logan Paul? I don't really know, but I did question it on Friday because it is blatantly obvious that if Logan Paul was to put his United States Championship on the line, that he would basically lose the title or the match would end in a fuck finish, and WWE doesn't want Cody Rhodes so soon into his title reign having a match end in a fuck finish. So it was either Cody wins or nothing. And Cody Rhodes is not going to be a WWE and United States champion because that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. To do what? Then vacate the championship? Might as well just have left it on Logan Paul then. Maybe WWE realized this and said, oh, we got a sticky situation here. I don't put anything past them. They are that stupid, to be quite honest with you, to do something like that only to say, oh, that's not going to work. So maybe Meltzer is correct. Maybe this was a strategic plan to get more heat on Logan Paul because here's the kicker, folks. The match has no story, so they want to maximize as much heat as possible for a babyface versus heel match for the WWE Championship. It's up to you whether you believe Dave Meltzer or not, but he may be heading in the right direction. Guilia. Yes, Guilia. She's on WWE's radar. And WWE is bringing her in to NXT. This is coming from Fightful's Corey Brennan. He's reported that there are some new details on the injury that Guilia has suffered. She sustained a fractured right wrist during a match on Monday, May 20th at the Marigold Fields Forever event in Japan. She teamed up with, I'm not even going to announce her name because I will just botch it, and faced former NXT star Saray. So she fractured her wrist in this match, and Corey Brennan has an update. He reports that WWE are hopeful that Guilia will recover in time for NXT's Heat Wave, which takes place on July 7th. There is a belief within WWE and NXT that Guilia would face Roxanne Perez for the Women's Championship at the show. However, it was come to light that these plans are not set in stone and might be changed due to Giulia's current injury. Now, she had to pull out, did Guilia, from her upcoming matches, including the Hana Kimura tribute show. However, she's still scheduled to face Saray at Marigold's Summer Destiny event on July 13th. Brennan also confirmed the reports that Giulia will be available to work with the promotion following her arrival in NXT. He reported that the match with Sarray was expected and shouldn't affect Giulia's arrival in WWE before that. So I know something happened on NXT last night because I catch up on NXT through highlights on YouTube. I don't watch the show in its entirety. It's a waste of my time. But Ava Raine says that next week, Roxanne Perez will have her next challenge. Now, who that is, I don't know. I don't know whether that's for Battleground or if that's going to be somewhere after Battleground. But Roxanne Perez is going to have an unknown opponent announced next week. Will that be Giulia? Will they be announcing Giulia ahead of that? I don't know. So we will see what happens there. But Heatwave is scheduled to take place on July 7th, and they believe that she will be healed before that pay-per-view where it's rumored she would go up against Roxanne Perez. Now, it's also come to light that Giulia is expected to lead the next class of wrestlers at the Performance Center, and the batch is likely to have wrestlers from the recent Australia tryouts. It's also reported that Giulia, who is signed to NXT, will remain who she is, and that WWE is not aiming to fix something that isn't broken. Giulia made an appearance for WWE for the first time at Stand and Deliver over WrestleMania weekend when she was in attendance with Rossi Ogawa and William Regal in Philadelphia. She also made her presence felt backstage and was outgoing and polite to NXT talent and higher-ups alike. She is also said to have a lengthy conversation with Shawn Michaels backstage. Regarding her English and her speaking abilities, it is said that the language barrier isn't a major issue in WWE under Triple H, as Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and more speak in their native language on WWE television. It's just how they work it. However, Giulia's effort to learn English has seemingly impressed WWE. Fans are eager to witness Giulia in NXT, but her debut depends on her recovery process. Listen, I don't know how long a fractured wrist is going to take to heal. I mean, it could be a couple of weeks. It could be a month or two. I don't know. I mean, it's May 22nd. We got July 7th. That'll be here before you know it. But WWE bringing her in as she is right now is the best thing for her. I love that. You could see that's one of the biggest changes that's happening in WWE. More times than not, WWE would bring in an independent talent, change their presentation, change their name, change their theme, change this, change that, give them a whole character rework. I like that they're bringing in Giulia because she's got a presence. She has the history of what she's built for herself, and she's bringing that here. That's what you're buying into. Imagine WWE changed Cody. You're buying Cody Rhodes. You're buying the American Nightmare. Why would you change anything about that? If it's not broken, there's no need to fix it. You're buying Giulia as is. That's who people are going to resonate with, not some new character under a new name and some new presentation. So I love that fact. I also love the fact that WWE is willing to let her learn the English language at her own pace. And I love the fact that if she wants to speak Japanese, that she could do it. Look at what we saw with Io Sky on Monday Night Raw. This, I don't want to say creepy vignette, but it was a very ominous, eerie vignette where she's submerging herself underwater, and you see the subtitles, and you see her speaking comfortably in her native language. They did the same thing with Nakamura. Look at the presentation. No matter how you feel about Nakamura, his presentation was better under that heel run when they let him be himself, speak as himself. They worked around his weaknesses, and they made those weaknesses into his strengths. It's a great move. I love it. I love the fact that they are open to bringing in people who might not be English savvy, and they let them learn at their own pace, and they let them have those strengths and rely on those strengths because they'll be more comfortable on TV if they're able to speak their own language instead of forcing something that just isn't there yet. I love it. I'm excited to see what she does and how WWE presents her. And I'm also interested to see all the people who claim that AEW didn't want her and how that she's going to be a game changer and how all these fans that were just magically born overnight are going to start praising Giulia as if they watched her entire career, man. You're a day one fan. Learn like the rest of us. That's the best way to go about it. Guys, thank you very much for all your support. I know the content's been kind of lacking lately, but wrestling right now in both AEW and WWE just feels ice cold. There is no major news stories. and I want to get the news out to you when I have it. That's why you got today's upload. If you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up. Sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of today's top stories. And if you did enjoy it, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes today on OTS. And I will see you live tonight with Jesse for what looks to be a very loaded, whether that's good or not, I don't know, a very loaded Dynamite for the go-home show for this weekend's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Hit that subscribe button down below, and please follow me for more on social media at JD from NY206. Until tonight, guys, to see you live right here after Dynamite on Off the Script. See you guys later.